Hello folks, this is Brett Keane, and I've been checking out some of my videos, some of my older ones. I have one in particular called Double Standards for Lesbians in Society, and that seems to be a very, very popular video. And a lot of people agree with me, both pagan, agnostic, atheist, and Christian alike, see a very serious problem with men seem to be fine, especially Christians seem to be fine with lesbians, but they have a problem with gay males. And I heard a lot of different reasons why people believe that's the situation. One of the key reasons they pointed out was a dominance thing, that a man doesn't like to be dominated. I'm not sure I'm sure that in some situations there's a lot of macho men out there who feel that way. Personally, I don't mind being passive to a female myself. I like to be aggressive at times, but sometimes I like it when a woman just slams me down and has her way with me. But that's just my prerogative. Maybe some men like to be in control all the time. I don't need to be. But one of the things I was asked in an email about from this young lady, she says, Brett, besides lesbian and homosexuality, how do you feel about how women are treated? Well, I feel like women are treated like weaker vessels. I believe that women are treated like a weaker group, and I think that the United States of America and most of the world seems to look at white people as the dominant group for some oddball reason. I don't know why that is. Maybe it's because we've been really, really good at killing and doing what we need to do in order to take control. I don't know. But women in general, I think one of the reasons why women are looked at like they're so weak and why they are inferior to that of a male is, and a lot of people are going to probably shit on me for this, but I believe that religion plays a big part in society. And you can easily read in the Islam Quran, the Muslim Quran, as well as the Christian Bible, that women are constantly treated like the weaker vessel. Hell, the Bible and the Quran actually blames a woman for why the world is like it is and why there's sin in the world, the female Eve. And I find that to be preposterous myself. If you look in 1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 11 through 15, one of the most important figures of the Bible named Paul actually says that women should not teach or usurp authority over men and all that. Now, me being an atheist, I believe that women are equal with men. Now, some guys out there will argue, but wait a minute, men can do more than women in many different situations, like we're stronger physically. But that's a damn lie. If any of you have ever walked the streets of St. Louis, then you know that that's complete and utter crap. Until you've been in a fight with a couple African American women and stuff and had your head thumped on a few times, you'll realize that women are not weak at all. For a woman to be able to hold a child inside of her body for 9 months and then be able to push that little watermelon out between their legs shows that they have a great deal of endurance and strength that a man can't even touch. So I get tired of hearing this men are stronger bullshit. And because I'm a fan of WWE wrestling, I could point out a female that used to be very popular in the wrestling industry called China, who is considered the ninth wonder of the world. I guarantee that 90% of the guys on YouTube that I've seen would get their ass beat down by this girl named China. She's no shit, seriously. Yes, wrestling is fake, but if you've seen what this female looked like and you've seen some of the big bodybuilding wrestlers she picked up and body slammed, you would understand where I'm coming from and you would feel me. You'd feel me all the way. So that's how I see that. I also see a double standard in society that a lot of people, for some reason, have this strange feeling that, or idea that women should sit at home and take care of kids all day, and that the man should be out working. And I think that that's complete and utter bullshit. I believe that it can be, the roles can be switched. I believe that a woman can go out and work and be independent, and the man can sit at home and watch the kids. There ain't no reason why it can't be the other way around. And if you can find a babysitter or a right kind of nursing place or something for children while both parents work, that's also adequate too, but make sure you have enough time to come home and spend time with your kids and nurture them sometimes. I'm not telling anybody how to raise your children. Sometimes people don't have no other choice but to have both parents working all the time, and sometimes they just don't have the time that they need to spend with their kids, and it's not their fault. But yeah, I do see that females get treated awfully strange in society. Another example is a man, he goes out, has sex with 100 women, and he's considered a man. You know, he's the man, he's a god. You know, he is a hero of men. You know, he's all that and then a fucking box of rocks and a bag of potato chips. But a woman goes out and has 3 or 4 partners, and I'm not talking about at the same time, but within her lifetime, she would be considered a whore. And I notice when I look in the Quran and I look in the Christian Bible, repeatedly when the misogynistic, anthropomorphic God gets pissed off, he always calls like an entire culture of people a whore, or a woman who, you know, basically gives it up to everybody, and it makes him jealous and envious, and that's retarded. I think that women should have just as much right to pleasure and everything else. Another thing that pisses me off is I was reading some stuff about how the church used to be back in the day. Did you know that less than 200 years ago, the Catholics actually sat down, had an assembly, and actually debated, do women have souls or not? I'm serious. They were convinced that women were of the devil and they were filthy and polluted, and you can still find verses in the Bible that actually state that women are filthy and polluted. And also in the Bible, I don't know if you realize this, but according to the Bible, if 2 parents give birth to a boy, then he only has to be like cleaned up for like a week. And if a female is born of this union, then the girl has to be cleaned up for like 2 weeks, twice as much as the boy, because a girl is filthy and polluted in the eyes of God according to the Bible. I kid you not, you can look it up. Hell, I'll probably provide the verses in a later on video, but I'm too tired tonight. So I think it's bullshit. I've heard a lot of guys who brag and they boast and they say this is a man's world, this is a man's world, and I think that that's complete and utter horseshit. I think it's ignorant to say that. I think that a lot of men out there in the world are insecure with themselves, with their own sex, with their own sexual desires and who they are. The most powerful thing and the most macho thing I think a man can do is whenever you're sad, cry. Let a tear out. A man who can express himself, and a man who can show that he does suffer and he has pain and he talks about it, that to me is one of the most macho things that a male can do. A guy who sits there and goes, I'm tough and I'm a fucking badass. Ooh, yeah. I'll never let no girl, tell me what to do. Well, you're full of shit then. Any man that is married knows that once you get married, if you truly love that woman and you want the marriage to work out, you'll realize that women are the god of the house. And a lot of guys are going to say, whoa, wait a minute, Brett. No. You know it. You know that when you're asleep at night with your wife or your girlfriend or whatever, she is the god of the house. What she says goes. And any guy that says differently, you've probably been divorced a few times or your relationships don't work out. That's just the way it is. So it is a woman's world when it really comes down to it. Because women are the ones that make this thing spin around. They say behind every great man is a perfect woman. I'm serious. That's the quote. Thank you.